From a distance, the forest looks like a white sea, wind-tossed waves broken only by the dark bulk of ancient pines, the only sound, the sigh of the wind. But closer to the ground, there's movement. A flicker of brown fur in the trees. A bird claws at the snow, searching for food. A rabbit darts across a clearing. Beneath the snow, the earth breathes with life. The sun dips lower now, the last pale light of day sinking into grey evening. And from the trees come sounds that tell another story. Not the sighing of the wind, but the crunch of footsteps, the snap of twigs, the call of men who hunt the wild things of the ice. 4 hunters move slowly between the towering pines. Their rough animal hides offer little protection from the biting wind. But these men are used to the cold, hardened by years of battling the elements in this frozen wasteland. Their faces are weathered, lined with the struggles of survival, and in their eyes, a fierce determination burns bright. They stop, leaning on their spears, each man studying the swirling snow. They are waiting, watching for any sign of movement, any hint of prey. Then one of them kneels low, brushing aside the snow to reveal something buried within. Fresh hoofprints, a trail. He stands, nodding to the others. They follow the tracks deeper into the woods, weaving between the roots and moss-covered trunks of the ancient trees. The sun has dipped below the horizon now, leaving only the last glow of dusk to pierce the heavy blanket of snow. The men move silently, not daring to break the spell of the hunt. The ground beneath their feet crunches softly with each step, and the only sound that dares compete with the falling snow is the beating of their own hearts. At the river's edge, the first hunter strikes hard with a stone axe, shattering the surface until black water seeps through. The others join him, throwing rocks into the center of the river to make it impassable. Now 2 of them tie bone hooks made from deer femurs to lengths of sinew and lower them into the dark water. Moments later, a splash and a grunt as one of the hunters pulls something from the depths. Silver scales flash against the snow. The other 2 cast their lines again and again, while the first sorts through their catch, dropping the smallest fish back into the churning water. When the basket is full, they leave, crossing the ice-jammed river, heading deeper into the heart of the forest. Beneath an ice-jammed overhang, the men begin their work. Each man has a role, and they move with practiced ease. Some drive thick poles into the ground, lashing them together in a triangle shape. Others stretch hides over the frame, packing snow against the sides for insulation. All the while, one of them sits at the opening, keeping watch over the growing shelter, while another scrapes away the dirt and debris to expose the rock wall behind. Sparks fly as flint strikes stone, and the first ember glows. The hunter with the sharp eye leans closer, blowing gently to coax the flame to life. Soon, crackling, alive, casting a warm glow over tired faces, the hunters gather around the fire, hands extended to its heat. With practiced hands, one of the hunters skewers strips of venison and fresh fish onto sharpened sticks. They roast slowly, turning with long wooden spatulas as fat hisses and drips into the embers. The smell of smoke and meat fills the night. The others scurry around the fire, gathering wood. They hack brittle branches from bushes, dragging heavy logs back to the camp, always keeping an eye out for danger. In the deepening twilight, they work steadily, patiently, driven by the need to prepare for the coming night. For out here, the darkness is filled with dangers, and the cold whispers threats on the wind. As the last rays of daylight fade away, the men take turns standing guard, keeping watch over the sleeping group. The rest find comfort in the shared warmth of the fire, eating in silence, breaking bones for marrow, sharing what little they have, passing it from hand to hand. They don't speak much. Words aren't needed here. Years of hunting together have forged a bond of trust, understanding, a brotherhood of survival. Their eyes tell stories, their glances communicate plans. They are 4 men, yet they move as one, their steps synchronized, their movements fluid. They are a unit, bound together by their skills, their courage, and the primal instinct that drives them to survive in this unforgiving world. Some of the children curl beneath furs, pressed close to their mothers, their tiny bodies seeking warmth in the crook of an arm. Others peer out from the shelter, their eyes wide with wonder and a hint of fear. The adults see the same wonder in those young eyes and know that this world, harsh as it is all these children have ever known. And so they teach them what they themselves have learned: how to read the signs of the forest, how to respect the power of the ice, how to endure the long nights when the sun seems a distant memory. The elders, their faces etched with the passage of time, sit quietly, watching the younger generation with a mixture of pride and sorrow. They remember a time before the ice, a time of warmth and plenty, and their hearts ache for the world their children will never know. But they also understand that the world changes, and with it, the way they must survive. So they share their knowledge, their skills, hoping to equip their children for the challenges that lie ahead. Beyond the glow of the fire, a lone hunter paces restlessly, his spear held loosely in his hand, his eyes sharp and alert, listening intently. A wolf's lonely howl echoes through the silent forest, haunting and distant. He doesn't flinch, he doesn't start. He's heard this song many times before, and he knows that though it may sound lonely, it's also strong. Like the howl, he too is alone, yet he finds strength in his solitude, in his purpose. He is the watcher, the protector, and as long as he keeps moving, as long as he keeps watching, he is safe. The wolf's howl fades into the silence, and he continues his vigil, his presence a reassuring constant in the ever-changing night. Time stretches and ebbs, measured by the slow creep of shadows and the rising and falling of the flames. The hunters tend the fire, stirring embers to life, coaxing warmth from the dying embers. They trade places shoulder by shoulder, sharing the burden of the night. The fire crackles, pops and hisses, a living thing breathing in the cold, casting dancing shadows that stretch and twist like phantoms in the fading light. In this flickering realm, weariness finds purchase, eyelids grow heavy, and the rhythmic crackle of the fire becomes a soothing lullaby. They keep watch, faces half hidden in the firelight, eyes sharp, scanning the endless white expanse beyond the firelight. A shift in the shadows, the fleeting glimpse of movement, a whisper of change in the wind. They are ever vigilant, ready to respond to the slightest hint of danger. The darkness deepens, stars pricking the inky canvas of the night sky. Frost clings to their lashes, a tangible reminder of the cold that surrounds them. But here, within the shelter of trees and the embrace of fire, they find solace. It's a hard-won peace, bought with grit and determination, seasoned with countless nights of enduring the elements. Here, beneath the vast canopy of night, surrounded by the remnants of their hunt, the hunters find a semblance of normalcy, a temporary reprieve from the unending struggle against the ice. Yet even in this moment of quiet, they know that the night is long and the cold is relentless. There is no respite from the icy grip of winter. There is no escape from the silent threat of starvation. But together, huddled around their fire, sharing stories of hunts past and dreams of hunts to come, they face the darkness, united, resolute, ready to face whatever the next day may bring.